Hi, this is Sharon. Here's a little sampler from my Burning Academy. Enjoy!
In today's video, I'm going to go over some techniques for smooth shading. Now, this is really what I use when I do animals like this little Chihuahua here that has very, very fine fur. You can use these same techniques for horses or even for other animals like these little guys, these little pugs that have folds. So I'm going to go over these techniques, and hopefully this will help you to tackle any projects you have that require this type of shading. So let's get started. Before I get started, I want to make some very soft lines outlining the different folds. You want to make sure these are not real hard lines. They have to be very, very, very soft because we don't want them to show once we get our shading in. Now make sure you're testing the heat on your pen. It has to be right because it has to allow you the time to do what you need to do so you don't burn too fast. All right, I'm going to go ahead and blend in these lines here so that they become invisible and blend right into my shading. Another thing I'm doing is I'm watching where I'm starting and pulling in. I like to use what I call contour lines or contouring when I do shading. So I'm watching the direction that these shapes are taking, whether they're convex or concave, and whether they're cylindrical or flat. That will depend on how I do the shading. You can use this type of shading anywhere. I use it a lot with flowers and with flower petals. These are looking like flower petals right now. And you can use it for portraits. In this example, I'm using it to do the folds and the shading on very smooth animals like these little dogs that I showed you. But there's a lot you can do. You want to use very, very little pressure. The smoother the effect you want, the less pressure you're going to use. You want to glide over the surface instead of pushing in. Now, if you do decide to push in, you can get some effects like I've got on these little pugs. You can see that there are some markings in there that show some secondary folds. So you certainly can use a little bit of pressure to your advantage. So I hope this has helped you. Happy burning!